A big hello and welcome to all the Planner Moms, Glam Moms, and all my subscribers. Hope each one of you are doing well. I'm well and hope the same for each one of you. So, today I'm coming on to you with a big Bridgerton haul. It's in the beginning, what video you have seen is my whole Julia Quinn collection, which I had in Dubai. I had all her books. I have been reading her since this winter of 2007, so it's been forever. And I have been a very ardent. Historical romance reader, eat those books up, and I have been reading them forever since till the time I found Colleen Hoover in 2000, I think 22. Oh, that was the first time I read it. It ends with and it begins with us. That was my first feat in contemporary romance. Then since last year, I read Anna Huang's in January 2023, last year. Anna Huang I had read for the first time 2024. Sorry, 2024 is when I read Anna Huang, the Twisted series. So that got me into a little spicier romances, and then came 20 July of 2024, where I got hooked on to Rena Ken Kindle and started reading like crazy and sending putting reviews. But this is my true love. This is my first love, which I started Regency romances, whether it comes to Julia Quinn, where it comes to Barbara Cartland, when it comes to this Laura Legorke. These are some of my most favorite romance writers, and these books I've read many years back. Other than the Happily Ever After, I think the last book in this series, I've read all of them. So definitely the review about these books, since I don't remember quite a lot of them, I've read only the first book, which I've already posted the review. The other books, as I keep reading, I will keep posting with the updated. But now these are from my memories. I'll be talking to you and I'll show you this. All these books, I had bought it in Jerry last year, but I never got a chance to make the video. So I thought might as well get this book haul also done and show you the books, how the new ones are. The ones, if you've seen in the beginning, the photo I have posted, in that were the first prints of the books. That was a very beautiful collection. I was leaving Dubai to Doha, and I sold all the books and I gifted some to the library in my hotel, but I didn't keep those books and I really regret it. Some of them are still there in my India home, but all of these books are in my Kindle as well. But I bought the physical copy last year when the Penelope and Colin's story was coming. So let's do the haul videos will be very easy, spoiler free. See the front, we see the last, and I talk a little bit about the books. So let's start with my favorite, and then I'll tell you at the end who's my favorite brother or sister stories are. It'll be easy for you to guess, however. So the first book, it starts with The Duke and I. We'll talk about, when we're talking about this, we will also talk about how I feel about the show. So this first show, Out of the World, I give it a full 5 star, the show and the book. The book was good, but I like the show even better, so you can imagine. The book was good. So this is the story of Daphne and Simon. Simon is his name? Yes, Simon Bassett. So this is the original movie of the, I want to start having the movie, the TV series as well, but for the moment I have the Piatkus, I think it's the British one. So this goes with Julia. I got this whole when they were having buy two get one sale. That's when I bought the whole series. So the first is Bridgerton, The Duke and I. This is if you don't know about Bridgerton series, which is now very famous in Netflix, but this is a story about these 8 brothers and sisters. They all named alphabetically. So the first one is Anthony, the second one is Benedict, the third one is C is Colin, then Daphne, then Francisca, Eloise, G is Gregory, and Harmony is the last one. So these are the 8 siblings. I know their names so well. They're like a family friends to me. That's what these books do. And I have already posted the review of the first book, which was, I think, The Duke and I is the first. The second, the one, The Viscount Who Loved Me. I've already posted a review of that if you are interested. So, and some of my Laura Legorke's Regency romance as well, but it's like a 1 minute review, not a very short review. So just have a look in my playlist of books I've read. So the first is The Duke and I. The first of Julia Quinn's best-selling and beloved Bridgerton novels, now series created by Shonda Rhimes for Netflix. Can there be any greater challenge to London's ambitious mamas than an unmarried duke? Lady Whistledown Society's paper, April 1813. By all the counts, Simon Bassett is on the verge of proposing to his best friend's sister, the lovely and almost on the shelf Daphne Bridgerton, but the two of them know the truth. It's all elaborate plan to keep Simon free from marriage-minded society mothers, and for Daphne, surely she'll attract some worthy suitors now that the Duke has declared desirable. Their ruse works like a charm at first, but Daphne vaults across the ballroom for after ballroom with Simon, and it's hard to remember that this courtship is complete sham. Maybe it's a devilish smile, certainly it's the way his eyes seem to burn every time he looks at her. It was the plan, but it seems she's falling for the Duke for real. And amidst the glittering, gossipy, cutthroat world of London's elite, there's only one certainty: love ignores every rule. This is a lovely story. I mean, will not do spoilers, but yes, as this says, it's a marriage, or like something will happen that they have to get married, and more of it's just a sham. They are just making people feel like he's supposed to be is at marriageable age, and so it's her first season, so she's learning from him techniques, and he is like, or just let's tie up together, and they pretend to be in love, and while pretending they fall in love. So that's this beautiful story. As for spice and historical romances, is quite minimum, quite minimum, but the angst, the enemies to lover, or the bully part, or anything like that is also very high. Only the spice is not that much, but it's very manageable. Lovely, love the book. The second in the series, I've already put a full review. This is about the Viscount Who Loved Me, and this is about I liked the first time I saw this, I was little disappointed because I loved the book more, but then I saw the series again, and that show I also give a full 5 star. I really enjoyed the way it's, of course it's an Indian background, so I'm coming from India. It really held very good to me to see Kate the way she was, but the book is also simply amazing, and I love the trope that he forbidden, right? He's supposed to marry her sister, but he falls in love with her, so that's the whole thing. Let's go how it says. The second of Julia Quinn's best-selling and beloved Bridgerton novel, known now as a famous series created by Shonda Rhimes for Netflix. This is Anthony Bridgerton's story. 1814 promises to be another eventful season, but not, this author believes, for Anthony Bridgerton, London's most elusive bachelor, who has shown no indication that he plans to marry, and all in earth, all in truth, why should he? When it comes to playing the consummate rake, nobody does it better. Lady Whistledown Society paper. Having spent in his 20s in a rakish pursuit of pleasure, Anthony Bridgerton knows it's high time he settled down and ensured the continuation of the Bridgerton line. Edwina Sheffield is the most beautiful debutante of the current season. She is sweet, innocent, and eminently biddable. Anthony is sure she'll make it perfectly acceptable wife and vows to make her his. The only obstacle in his way is Edwina's older sister Kate, who is determined to do all she can to allow her sister the chance to marry for love rather than convenience. The roguish Viscount is beginning to think he may have met his match in Kate's been wit and sharp tongue, until that he makes the mistake. So this is what, as I said, the full review, non-spoiler, is in my channel. The third book is called An Offer from a Gentleman, which is like a Cinderella story. So he meets her, she comes from a very poor family, he falls in love with her, he offers her something which is not very good, and she declines. This is the next Netflix show coming, and I love the whole like she's Asian, that was a South Asian, this is the Asian, so it'll be a good depiction. So An Offer from a Gentleman, this is the story of Benedict. So this is the third of the book. This year's the most sought after invitation must surely be that of the Bridgerton masquerade ball to be held Monday next. Will some fortunate young lady use the mystery of a masquerade night to snare one of the eligible bachelors? Lady Whistledown Society papers may Sophie Beckett never dreamt she would sneak into Lady Bridgerton's famed masquerade ball, or that Prince Charming would be waiting there for her. Though the daughter of an earl, Sophie had been relegated to the role of servant by her disdainful stepmother. But that night, spinning in the strong arms of the debonair, devastating, handsome Benedict Bridgerton, she felt the royalty. Yet she knows all the enchantment must end. But Sophie has reckoned without Benedict, determined heart. He has sworn to find and wed his mystery miss, for he knows this is only his chance for the fairy tale love. So far, what they have shown Benedict, I really don't like his character. You will see him as a Casanova. You'll feel sometime he's like going into two. I don't really enjoy that part of the whole storytelling. Like, I'm not against lesbians or gays. I respect them a lot, but in this part of the story, like, the way they have made him heterosexual, his character is not like that. He's supposed to be one man, like, he likes man. He feels a little gay also, if you've seen the first two parts. So uh, but he is not. So definitely this book is one of my favorites. I'll give you the ranking at the end, but I love this book as well. It's the series, let's see how it will be. The fourth book is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which they put before Benedict's story. I'm not sure why, but Colleen and Penelope are my favorite characters. If you've seen the story, I would give it like 4.5. Not I didn't like the book that much, as well as the what do you call, it's I didn't like means, it's not less than a 4.5 or 5 star for me. All her books are amazing, but compared to the others, I was not very invested in them. This is like they've been growing up together from younger age, best friends to lovers. That's not my one of my favorite tropes, I would say. So everyone knows that Colin Bridgerton is the most charming man in London. Penelope Featherton has secretly adored her best friend's brother for, well, it feels like forever. After half of the time watching Colin from far, she thinks she knows everything about him until she stumbles across his deepest secret and fears she doesn't know him at all. Colin Bridgerton is tired of being thought of nothing but an empty headed charmer, tired of the notorious gossip columnist Lady Whistledown, who can't seem to publish an edition without mentioning him. But when Colin returns to London from a trip abroad, he discovers that nothing in his life is quite the same, especially Penelope Featherton in The Girl Who Has Always Simply There, suddenly the girl haunting his dreams. When he discovered that Penelope has secrets of her own, Colin must decide, is she the biggest threat or his promise of happy ending? So this was a 4.5, the movie, the TV series, and the book was almost 4.8. It was a good story. Best friends find out, and a lot of plot twists in this. I'm not going to spoil the fun, so a very good read as well. I like the covers. Let's see the covers. So far they are looking beautiful together. Only thing is I couldn't find the first one in this, so I had to pick up, otherwise it would be perfect. However, I think I have that book in my home, back home. My mom had kept all my books very nicely because I took care of them. When I had to sell the books in Dubai, I was like heartbroken, and I promised myself I'll never buy physical copies. I'll just get Kindle. But these, having them in hand, smelling the paper, it's another feeling. So the next book is To Serve with Philip. This is Eloise's story, and we have met Sinclair, I think his name was, I'm not sure. Philip, Saint Philip or something like that. His name is. This guy we met in one of the first books. So he is. This is all these books I've read in 2007. So now it's 2025. So many years back. So I'm not going to remember all of them, but I remember that she used to write these letters to him, and he has kids, and they fall in love. It's a marriage of convenience maybe, but I'm definitely going to do this series, reread, and post the videos as well, so stay tuned for that. The fifth book of Julia Quinn's best-selling beloved, this My Dear Miss Bridgerton. We have been corresponding now for quite some time, and although we have never formally met, I feel as if I know you. Forgive me if I'm too bold, but I'm writing to invite you to visit me here at the Romney Hall. It's my hope that we might It's my hope that we might decide that we will suit and you will consent to be my wife. Did he think she was mad? Eloise Bridgerton could marry a man she had never met, but then she started thinking and wondering, and before she knew it, she was on her way to meet the man she hoped she might be her perfect match, except he wasn't. Her perfect husband would be so moody and ill mannered and wouldn't be. And while Philip was certainly handsome, he was rough, rugged, totally unlike London's gentlemen vying for a hand. But when he kissed her, the rest of the world simply fell away. Oh my god, yes, I kind of remember this book as well. And Julia Quinn, she has so many of her books. But if you will ask me, my favorites were the first three books she wrote. It's called Splendid, Minx, and Dance in the Midnight, and Yours Till the Moon. That was one other favorite of mine, Even better than the Bridgerton series is that those books of hers. Do try them. I am just looking where she writes, because there is a list of all her books when I used to read, and I used to highlight all the books I've read of hers. So crazy. Agents of Bridgerton. This is the series Bevelstoke. No, not that one. Wyndham Blight. Yes, this Blyton family saga. Splendid, Dancing at Midnight, and Minx. These three are my top favorite Julia Quinn books, and also this too, Brighter Than the Sun and Everything and the Moon. These were also, after I read the Bridgerton series, I started reading these, so highly recommend that. Then comes okay, let me tell you, this is my favorite book. This is my favorite book. I had already started reading a little of it, and I had highlighted it. I think I need to finish it off. This is Story of Francisca. This is second time romance, and he falls for her first, and he falls for her right before she marries his cousin, so you can understand. And he waits for her, something happens to the cousin. You will read. This is my favorite, my first Julia Quinn book. I can read it. I read it I think 2 times already. This is my third time I'll be reading it, and this time I'll definitely be posting a review about this book. And this is a moment of tremendous in every life there is a turning point, a moment so tremendous, so sharp and breathtaking. The one knows one's life will never be the same. For Michael Sterling, London's most infamous bachelor, the moment came the first time he laid eyes on Francisca. After a lifetime of chasing women, of smiling slyly as they chased him, of allowing himself to be caught but never permitting his heart to become engaged, he took one look at Francisca Bridgerton and fell so fast hard in love with love. It was wonder he managed to remain standing. Unfortunately for Michael, however, Francisca's surname was to remain Bridgerton for mere 36 hours longer. The occasion of the meeting was lamentably a super celebrating her imminent wedding to his cousin. So a beautiful love story. It comes with topics like infertility, of her it's her being a widower, and like how she falls in love again, how Michael gives her a chance, like makes her fall in love again, and how she changes him. He's one of my favorite characters in the whole series. Now let's talk about the show, which we have heard it's going to be like both will be girls. For me, this is a little hard to take. Not this book. I have no problem with lesbians or gay, it's their choice, but in this book we really didn't need. I wish Eloise was made gay, or even Benedict's story, they would have done something like that. But Francisca, who lost her husband, she didn't deserve to. I mean, it's not that something bad that if she falls in love with a woman, but for me, this book, especially which book started my love for Julia Quinn, I was so upset with the showrunners making it a lesbian book. I will see the show, but I'm not at all happy about this book, the way it will be coming into the show. But anyways, I'm going to read it and definitely share my review. And then comes the 7th book, which is his brother. Brother is like Hyacinth. I think Hyacinth gets married before Gregory, but she's the youngest. It's in his case. This I don't remember anything about. So all the ton agrees there is no one quite like Hyacinth Bridgerton. Friendly, smart, devilishly outspoken. According to some particular one, Gareth Sinclair. This is the Sinclair I was mixing. Probably best in small doses, but there's something about her, something charming and vexing that grabs one and won't let go. Gareth and Hyacinth cross paths at the annual discordant Smith and Smythe musical show. To Hyacinth's Gareth, every word seems a dare, and she offers to help him out with the naughty inheritance problem he's facing. However, as they delve in the mysterious Sinclair history, they discover the answers they seek lie into the past, but in each other, and there is nothing as simple as complicated as a single and perfect kiss. So this is the Bridgerton series. It's in his case and Hyacinth. So let's see how this will be. The Netflix has not yet. It will be many years from now, but I don't remember much of the book, so can't talk about. The next is his brothers, Gregory. This book I kind of remember. It's like on the wedding day something happens, but it's on to the wedding as well, but little. Unlike most men of his acquaintance, Gregory Bridgerton is firm believer in true love. He has reason because all his 7 siblings are happily married. Gregory is certain he just bidding time until the right woman comes along, and so when he sees Hermione Watson, he knows this is the very fiber of being that she is meant to be his. But through Hermione's closest and slightly less beautiful friend Lucy Abernathy, he finds out that Hermione is desperately in love with another man. Sadly, by the time Gregory figures out the right girl is actually the wrong girl and the right girl was Lucy all along, it's too late. Lucy is to marry another. Now, on the way to the wedding, Gregory must figure out how to thwart the nuptials and convince Lucy that she was always meant to be. So, this is going to be a good read. I remember this was a good story as well. Right, so these are the 8 books of them, and then this is the Bridgerton Happily Ever After. I think in this they also have his sister Violet in Bloom. This is a novella. So this is going to be the mother. The thing is, we know that the husband dies for her. Maybe that's why she never had a full book, because in these novels you want to have happy ending. Other than this when he was wicked, rest all is a happy ending. Even when he was wicked was a second time romance, so it was a happy ending for sure, but of course a little suffering was there. But this will have that, and we know how he dies as well. So it's going to be, I've never read the second epilogues for all the books, but finally I got the cover, and this book has all of them. So now let me rate my top books of as much as I remember reading them. So I'll give you my top 3 of them. If I ever have to choose from the when, it would definitely be When He Was Wicked would be my top first. Then would be An Offer from a Gentleman. And definitely the third one will be The Why Can't You Love Me. So these 3 are my top Bridgerton books. These 3. The Why Can't You Love Me, An Offer from Gentleman, and When He Was Wicked. These are books that I remember the most. And then would be followed by, I think I don't remember the Harmony story that much. And on the way to the wedding, I kind of remember I liked it a lot. And of course, The Duke and I, and the Romance in Bridgerton. So these are how the series I remember. Eloise story is of the least of all the books that I enjoyed, but even the sisters was good. But it's, as I said, I've read it in 2007. So do leave in the comments if you like me to read these books again, and we'll leave a review for them. I would definitely not be putting all together because I'm reading right now some romantasy series at the moment. So but I would definitely be posting. I think the first book I'll be reading is my favorite, and rereading it and posting for you guys the review. Stay tuned for that. And they look so beautiful. Only I wish my first book was the first book could have been the first, then they would look so perfectly in my book rack. But I'm happy to have them again, this collection, after I sold all our books. Slowly when in India I'll start buying her physical books. These are some of my favorite treasured books, and I love how the paperbacks feel as well, more than the hardback, honestly. Alright, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. If you like this content, if you like such content, please consider subscribing. It means a lot to me. It's just a heart or a like or a subscribe for you, but it means the world will see my videos, and I will get a chance to have more followers and showcase my reading world to the people. And this is a small part of the YouTube. Thank you for being a part of my world. Thank you so much.